It's an impactful character.
Yeah.
Have you played anything like this before in your career?
None. This is my first time doing action.
How crucial is the body language for Kyra?
Nagi sir also gave me a lot of tips and a lot of pointers on how I can make it look it's believable that I'm beating up a guy twice my size.
Experience of working with the likes of Prabhas, Mr. Bachchan, Deepika, Kamal Hassan sir.
I cannot put it into words because this was the biggest opportunity ever.
Have you heard about the stories of Prabhas fans all across the world?
Obviously, I know how big of a star Prabhas sir is. Hi, I'm Annabelle. You're watching Connect Cine with Faridoon. Stay connected.
Annabelle, welcome on Connect Cine. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent. We're talking for the second time.
Yes,
We
we
spoke
are.
during pandemic
Yes.
and virtually and now as well. So congratulations for Kyra, and I think fantastic response so far
Thank you
for
so
Kyra.
much. Thank you.
What is the best compliment that you've received? First Telugu film for you?
A lot of compliments were in Telugu, which I took some time to understand because I didn't really know what they were saying. But really, really happy to know that a lot of people in Telugu enjoyed the character, and I was very scared to see how they connect to my dialogues in the way I presented. And I was so happy to hear that they really liked the way I presented the dialogue. I think that was my most favorite feedback from the film for my character. Yeah.
It's an impactful character. It's a stylish character as well.
Yeah.
Have you played anything like this before in your career?
None. This is my first time doing action. This is my first sci-fi. This is first of many actually. Like I've not done a character that is this hyper loud and action packed and all that. So this is my very first, and it was such a fun ride. Honestly, it was really nice to do this.
How crucial is the body language for Kyra as far as you as an actor?
Generally, as an actor, body language for any character is very important. I think that's one of the best ways for you to bring out the character in terms of the way she walks or the movement of her hand or any gestures. So I think body language is very important as an element for an actor. So for Kyra, since it had a lot of physical exertions, it was important that I have that kind of flair when I do action and everything. So I really wanted to nail that bit. Fortunately, I had amazing team on board. Nick Powell sir and Salman Master. They've given me so many tips to how to look like I am actually beating up a bad guy. So that actually really helped me a lot. And Nagi sir also gave me a lot of tips and a lot of pointers on how I can make it look like it's believable that I'm beating up a guy twice my size. So all that I think really helped me to mold Kyra's action back.
So if we take the context of body language and mind space of Kyra, from the context of the fact that as a personality, she's also a confluence of pride, aggression, integrity. What is the mind space of Kyra when we take these elements into mind?
In my understanding, Kyra is somebody who makes the best of her situations. She is very, very optimistic. She is coming from a rebel background where she's fighting for a bigger cause, but she also has this personal view on life and how she sees family, and she sees the world very positively. At least she's hoping for that. So that's her core element, that she's very optimistic about her future or Shambhala's future, and she really deeply believes that human relationships are a priority on top of everything else. So that is her crust, I feel. So I think that is what my first connect to Kyra was. And Nagisa specifically told me that this one particular element is what makes her shine. So I think that's what I hold on to first.
Okay, and experience of working with the likes of Prabhas, Mr. Bachchan, Deepika, Kamal Hassan sir.
I cannot put it into words because this was the biggest opportunity ever. I never imagined that I would be in a film with such big names. And unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Prabhas sir and Bachchan sir, but I was fortunate enough to meet Tipika ma'am and work with her, which is on my like the highest of list, and it has been surreal, to be honest. And it was beautiful to see a star in her element doing her thing. And I had so much fun just looking at her, observing her, and how she's at the set and how she takes up lines and how she interacts with the director. All that was very, very, very inspiring to see. I hope I can meet Bachchan sir and Prabhas sir at some point. I'm looking forward to that. But I think this itself is a big win for me, and I feel extremely privileged and lucky to be a part of something like this.
Have you heard about the stories of Prabhas fans all across the world and
Yes.
the excitement that they have generated?
Yes, I know how big of a star Prabhas sir is, and everybody talks about him in such bright colors. And I've been told that he's such a warm person, that he's a big time foodie and he loves to feed the people around him. Is one big thing that I kept hearing, and he is very warm as a person, is what I've heard. So I hope I can meet him at some point. And he's a mega star there. The fans are incredibly loyal to him, and they root for every project that he's done. And and I get why, because he seems to be, whoever's met him has only said good things and about his charm and about his warmth. So yeah.
Now, lots of speculations. A lot of people want Kyra to be back in the sequel. There is mystery around whether Kyra will be making a comeback of sorts. So
I honestly don't. I can only just hope, I guess, because even Nagi sir also, when we were shooting, I asked him, and he as he says everything, he's like, maybe, maybe not sure yet, is what he keeps saying. So I really don't know. I will be more than happy if I come to know that I'm back. I'll be extremely happy. But I'm just immersing into what is happening right now, and I'm just like, so surprised and so honored, honestly, to get all this love. So I'm just happy that people feel like she should be back. I'm glad that they love the character a lot.
in your career, have you experienced so much of excitement around a sequel of a film, even when the movie is like say 10 days old, whatsoever? The level of excitement which is there for the sequel is humongous. Have you experienced that in your career?
I don't think I've ever done a film which would have a potential sequence. This is the first that I've ever done, especially in this scale. Of course not. All the films I've done are more or less on the indie space, and then a few commercials, but nothing that has a sequel or a prequel that's anticipated. Or the storyline was never like that. So I think this is the first of it, and this is a whole new experience because more than me being part of this film, I'm going to the theater as an audience with my friends or with my family, and I'm watching this film, and I'm so excited just as a viewer to just know what is going to happen next. So I had this the whole thing that I am part of this film is a whole other game, and I've never, it hasn't sunk in honestly, because I'm seeing it as everybody else, so such a big landscape and all these actors coming in, and I'm just like, oh, who's going to be the next big thing in the battle? All these questions are coming to my head just like any other person watching the film. So I know I've not done in this scale ever.
Okay, so Malayalam cinema, I think it's beautiful cinema, and as you mentioned about the indie space, um, theme is very crucial in most of the Malayalam films. There's an attempt to say something. There's an element of social change as well. Um, if we look at Kalki, for example, and the themes of oppression of the working class, the entire element of rebels, and the vulgarity of the rich and uh, privileged whatsoever. Do you in a way find the themes having a similar sort of consonance maybe with something that reflects in your personal maybe viewpoints as well?
What Nagi is trying to talk about it is, I think the fact that it connects across borders is because it is a lot of global issues and, humanity in general facing a lot of issues. I think that has made people connect to it on a larger scale, and that's another reason that the film has traveled so much. So yeah, of course it is something that I've also like dived in and thought about. So to see that in a film on such a big scale, on a very big commercial film, it's actually kudos to Nagi sir for bringing in such subjects into something this sci-fi and action packed, because the crust of it, there's so much material, so much of meat into this film. When you look into it, there's so much to dive into, a lot of discussion, which you usually see in like maybe an indie film where there's a lot of discussion going on that terms. But to bring that into a commercial space to a bigger audience, I think that is one of the biggest achievements that you can do as a maker, and which is very hard to do, honestly, because that kind of a spectrum of a film, the audience come to theater for something else. They come to get entertained, but at the same time you are diving into such really really deep subjects, and then you don't really realize how you're getting into it, but then you are seeing it, and then that kind of starts a discourse, which is a big achievement in my opinion. So I'm really glad that a director in that scale has done something like that.
Okay, if you can sum up the VFX in the film in a hashtag.
Mind blowing, my gosh. I don't think we've ever seen anything like that. I don't think this is something that we can be so proud of and say that this is an Indian cinema, that you can put it on a global platter and be like, this is us. We've made something this big, and it's extraordinary to see such a visual. I have only worked like in live sets. I've never worked in a CGI or a green mat before. So everything was very imaginative. Every time I speak with the director, he tells me like there is sand dunes behind, there is a big tower behind, or there's an explosion happening behind. And so it's all in my head. And then I would be like, okay, CGI is going to come in and then it's going to look a certain way. But I went to the theater, I saw the visuals, I was mind blown. It was nowhere close to what I was thinking. It was 100 times bigger. And so I think the director's vision is insane. So, and I'm just so proud as an Indian to see such a film come out from our industry. So, yeah.
Okay, finally, if you have to look at the film as a viewer, which is your favorite character?
Oh my gosh. That's such a hard question. Hmm. Favorite character? I would just pick part one, because I feel like some of the characters are going to come out crazy in the part two, because we can see that, because it is a cliffhanger and there's so much happening, and you know that certain characters are going to be major in the second one. But if I have to talk about just the first one, Bachchan sir's character is insane. The impact that he has, just the whole get up and the way he says certain words and his strength, it was just goosebumps. And every time Prabhas sir and Bachchan sir has that interaction and when they're fighting, I'm just cheering, I'm clapping and I'm hooting. So that was very exciting. But also Kamal sir's character is also very very intriguing. I have not seen a villain,
Very intriguing.
yeah, this intimidating in so long. Like a villain with that kind of appearance and with so much of mystery and terror. Just and towards the end, that last frame, it's etched in my brain, the way he raises his arms, and then it's too good. So it's hard to pick. It's very hard to pick.
Not a problem. Anabin, thank you very much. Congratulations once again,
Thank
and I
you
hope
so
to see you
much.
in the sequel.
Thank you. I hope so too. Thank you so much.